Hello, welcome to Cosmic Love Connections with your host, Judy Jewett and Catherine Lanigan. Hello, Catherine. How are you?
I am wonderful. Hi, everybody out there.
Yes, I am just so grateful that we're doing this live today and that we have a really great topic we're going to talk about. And it is about going internally
Right.
and to get your answers. And I wanted to know if you would like to share what you were telling me before we started with the serenity prayer and your
Yes.
experience.
Yeah. It makes sense. I want this is one of my angels I have obviously a large collection of angels, but on her side, she has God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And several of our shows that we've had leading up to this one, we're addressing this because this just saying this prayer gives you a peace within yourself. And to find peace, we really do have to go within. Right now, just as we've said, but I'm gonna, because it's such a big deal, we know you're all just being bombarded with one thing after another, and it's just, and I don't care where it's from, whether it's from the news or it's the medical world or it's the political world, whatever it is, it's just one dire situation on top of another dire situation, to where just the average person, even if you don't have, even if you are a hermit in the middle of the mountains, you're still going to be bombarded with this kind of stuff. It's just very hard to find a place where you can be in silence or find some serenity. And so you have to be able to literally sit down in a room or on your front lawn, or if you don't have your lawn, on a patch of grass, which that's all you need, and just to find that calming place where you can be. Peace, to have peace on earth, we have to start with peace in ourselves. Do you not agree?
I absolutely agree. The inner peace has to come from inside. So the chaos, the solar plexus chattering, I call,
Right.
is sometimes gets the best of us, and that's why you and I always talk about the importance of people to work with their own energy, of their own belief system, of their own trauma, of the
Right.
patterns and imprints that are controlling us all the time.
They are. Norman Vincent Peale said, to change the world, change yourself, you change the world. We've been dumbed down so much that we have forgotten or don't know, we just plain don't know how much power we have as an individual. And there's always that analogy of, we are a drop of water in a vast ocean, right? But that one drop in that water makes ripples, and those ripples go out and out and out, and they touch every shore. They touch, the east and the west and the north and the south. They touch the whole, just everything. And for those of us that, or those of you that pray and meditate, and I want to emphasize this, nothing changes your life and the life of others as much as prayer. And meditation, the difference between prayer and meditation is prayer is when you are doing all the talking. You're doing all the talking. I'm praying for this person to be well. I'm praying for, the whole world to be at peace. And meditation is when you are silent and you are listening. Meditation is when God talks to you. When you're praying, you're talking to God. When you meditate, God talks to you. When someone says, well, when I go to church, I go to church and then I'm just silent for a while. You can do the same thing in your front yard, your backyard, in your car while you're driving, as a good, being present in the moment. We talked about this last time. There is no past, there is no future. There's just this moment. And that's how you are present in order to really make things, happen for you. So it's very interesting how much power we really have and can keep things going in a really positive way. and keep that peace happening, not just for ourselves, but for our neighbors, our friends, our family, for the whole world, really for the whole world. We can affect it that way.
You said something that is so true, that if there really is only now,
Mm-hmm.
then meaning there is no future, because where you are today, right this moment, is where
Right
you
this
are in
moment.
another minute from now, and
That's right.
another hour from now, and another whatever. So you have to take control of you.
That's
And if
right.
you can't find that inner peace, then that's when you start journaling and
Right.
asking yourself, what are you so stressed about? What is really bothering you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you
Right.
and I, because we know, with the meditation and what we have to do, we understand it really works when
It
you
really
go
works.
within. It really, really does. You said something really important too when we talk about there are so many channels of information. How do you know what is true and what is fear based? And, we, how do we know?
I know, it's interesting you asked that. Is this morning while I'm having my cup of coffee, is I seriously, I got a feed on my phone that says how to discern fake news. Literally, how to discern fake news. There is a website that you can go to and just put it when you Google it or when your search bar, just say, how do I discern fake news? Now I got it it's on my phone, so I can't pull it up right now for you, but I think that's very interesting because already we've got somebody out there putting it down. Okay, this is how you tell fake news, but as a general rule, if you don't get to go to that podcast, if you hear something and it's instantly making you anxious or fearful, then I would question it. Now, granted, we are hearing that there is, i- one country is bombing another country right now, and they return fire, and then another one, and we've got this one coming in, and I just heard that the United States sent something like 22 warships to the Middle East yesterday, and and everybody should understand this. I am the world's biggest conspiracy theorist. Really. I started my first book on conspiracy theory. I mean, they make great novels. It's the best thing is like, alternative plots, right? So they sell a lot of books. But what's really interesting is here we are 45 years later, and those theories that I had were all true. Every one of them. Now, that's also 45 years ago. And so I'm always listening to, so whenever I see anything, I'm like that little 3-year-old kid goes, why? Who said so? I want to know where it came from. My father was always, well, look it up. What are your facts? How do you back up that statement? I want to know where the facts are. Well, the problem with a lot of I'm not even going to say they're journalists anymore. TV anchors or news anchors are not journalists anymore. They don't have to go look for facts. They get a script and they read their script that's given to them. They don't question it. So I wanna only listen to those journalists, whether they're television podcasts or on a print page. I want to know that they went and they researched their facts. I have to research every single thing that I put in a book. So I think it's only fair that they have to go and look up everything that they're putting down there. I mean, I had to look up even colors to find out if that color was worn in 1912. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh
Right?
wow.
So that's only fair.
Yeah, that is only fair. One thing I would also do, and it's not as easy as I say it, if you're on YouTube and you start down, they send you all these things you might be interested in.
Yeah,
And remember, those topics is to get you to click on and to watch it. And a lot of times it is
that's
fear
right.
based. But think twice. I mean, I went on today, and there was one astrologer that I like, that I think she's pretty good. and I just was curious what she had to say. Now I've been like completely avoiding all that, not going there,
Yeah.
staying very peaceful, not giving any of it any power. I had nothing. Didn't even know about these warships going out, right? Or
Yeah.
any of that. You know, you do stay up on the news.
Well,
You have to
that
keep
just
me
came on my
informed.
phone. See, that's another one that just came on my phone, you know. And that's why I say is I feel sorry for everybody because you can just you say, I'm staying in peace, I'm not gonna do anything. I pick up my phone to go call somebody and boom, there's this piece of, there's this thing about the warships. I'm like,
I wonder if
well,
it's
how
true.
did I hit that algorithm? Who sent me that one? Probably because I
Yeah,
looked up
I
something for a book, I'm always looking up firearms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, something. Exactly. To get the nervous system stirred up,
Yeah.
and
Oh
get it
God.
going. But so back to so I didn't
So
want to
anyway,
I didn't really want to be on YouTube very long since I was preparing for us. And so I went to the transcript. I thought I don't have time to listen to anything. I'll just
yeah,
go because I
right.
wanted my answer according to what the title was. See, I fell into the trap.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, well, I do like to get a little bit of updated stuff. And she is just giving predictions based onto astrology.
Right.
She's not giving her um she still stays pretty positive. And I won't say her name, but you are the one that told me about her one
Yeah,
time.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole thing of it is I could have gotten myself all worked up, but it's just I'm not going to. I'm just going to stay. It's what I keep getting that to do those things you have to be an observer
Yes.
for you to not get caught up to watch to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do get caught up, the first thing is does it feel like a good source, right? You're going to
Right.
have to ask yourself, does it feel like an honest source before I listen to it?
Correct.
And it is, as you know, we're in a fast paced world, and sometimes we don't have time to ask that question. But we need to give ourselves that gift to
Agreed.
ask, is this
Yeah.
source to get me scared or to inform me?
Or to inform me. Correct. The other thing too that I want to, a good rule of thumb is when you are, let's say you got drawn into something and you're just going, oh my God, they're just, mongering again. Is say the words cancel, cancel, put an X through it so that that energy goes away from you and it does not, even in your own thoughts. Let's say you're all of a sudden you're thinking about, oh, so and so, I went to my church social and so said, that the world was going to end tomorrow. And that's not how you feel, and you say cancel, cancel, and see x's through that thought that you have and her words or his words or whatever, and it does not go into the universe or into the ethers to create or manifest into something. So saying cancel, cancel is really important.
It is.
It's
I'm
a
going to
good
tell.
it's a good
It is.
thing to
It is.
yeah.
I'm going to tell on myself. So I was getting all caught up in the news and had to get away from it.
Yeah.
And, in my meditations, I'm being told you're listening to negative stuff. You're listening to stuff that does not serve you. And
Right.
that's why you're feeling nervous and you're getting anxious. So that's why I shut it off. So I ended up anyone that watches so Netflix. So I stay away from the TV where the news is on. I don't do that. So I
Yeah.
go in another room, in my room upstairs, and I have the TV on, and I go to Bridgington and Queen Charlotte. Now I told you about I was getting wrapped up in this romance. I mean, it is like, oh my God, romance. I have been, and I'm bored. It's like going back to Hallmark now is so boring. And so, but what
Thanks a
happened,
lot.
I was watching it and then I went back to watch them both twice. Well, Bridgerton, that's not true because there's three seasons, but I finished the first, so I finished the third, went to one, two, and watched the third again.
Oh,
But
okay.
Queen Charlotte, I watched it twice because it is a love story like no other. Now, I know yours are really, really good. I'm not saying yours aren't even better, but this
I
is
didn't
what I'm
mean to
watching
do that.
on TV. And what I did was I could catch myself, talk about a boring life. I could catch myself in my head thinking about them. And I'm thinking now, okay, so because I know energy can come and do their little thing, but
Yeah,
it didn't do that. It was in my head, and all I did was, okay, let's just reject this or revoke it
yeah,
because you don't
revoke it.
need to be. I mean, my life needs to get more interesting if I'm going to be thinking about this love story from these characters that get paid to act that way,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, I know.
And
But
so
it's true. It's
we
true.
have to pay attention to our mind and our thoughts. And this is the
Hmm.
other thing, Catherine. I don't know about you, but we keep going to higher frequencies, and there's definitely more bliss. There's definitely more, we're able to, when a thought goes through our mind, which is coming from the imprints, it's
Hmm.
coming from what we're picking up, but it's not, it's a little negative or it's a little bit our self talk, right? We
Hmm.
have to change that.
Yeah.
And um, until we become completely non dual, we're just going to have that. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh
we're
yeah.
going to have it.
I mean,
So
it's very, it's all of that's very human. It's very. I mean, I don't. You can't really be a human being and not feel some kind of anxiety when you start hearing, oh, we're gonna, world's gonna end, or we're gonna go to war, or we're gonna, all these different things. But and those, those things, that's the history of the world. That may come to pass, but we're certainly we're on our end. We're certainly working very, very hard for all of that to at least be lessened. If the so the impact is not like the great asteroid hitting the earth and then we're all back in the dinosaur age or something like that. We want to at least lighten it up a little bit so that um I still have this whole thing where I still see the world with every child has plenty of food, everyone has water to do, clean water to drink, cleaning the seas, cleaning the rivers, all the tributaries, so that water flows clean and clear and is good for everyone. And that, Mother Gaia is happy with all of that vacuuming I'm doing. I got my shop vac out there, cleaning up
you
this
clean,
seas.
clean up.
Cleaning the seas.
Yeah. The other thing we can do also is what you had said earlier with the gratitude of prayer is just take even 5 minutes to be in a happy place of gratitude and see this golden or white love or pink love go
Whatever,
out of
yeah.
your heart and imagine it
Hmm.
going to all human beings. No judgment, guys. This isn't about
That's
good
right.
or bad. All
That's right.
people, all
Yep.
animals, our
Yep.
planet, and through the planet, around the planet. And if we all would do that daily,
Oh
also,
my gosh. I mean, it would really make a big difference.
it would. It really
Yep.
would. I happened yesterday. I don't know, something I got caught up in the weather. There's a lot of rain in the mountains right now, and
Oh,
um,
really?
yeah.
Isn't there another hurricane that's coming to Florida right
Well,
now?
that was my whole point of telling you about. I get off on this because my one daughter has had some flash flooding in the
Uh-huh.
mountains, and but she sends a lot of love out, and I know that makes a difference where she lives. I know, but then I got caught up in here we go, right? So easy, so much information. And now they're talking about something that's going to go to Florida, and North Carolina is not out of the trouble. I think there again, we can change the pattern of the weather by
Yes, we
sending it
can.
love.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
We can change so much.
Hmm.
We have God. We are the creator. It is within us. We can use it for the betterment of humanity. And if you don't use it for the betterment of humanity and you're trickster, you're going to get caught, right? I mean, I don't know why
Yeah,
I had to go there. It's not going to work for you.
right.
Um, But because I don't know where I came off with that. That's usually not what I talk about.
But I think a lot more people should understand that they have the power to change the weather with their sending love and prayer. I know my daughter-in-law has always been able to, if they needed rain or send the clouds away, and she would just go out there and pray, and she goes, there you go, blue sky, and I'm going, thank you. I like that.
Yeah, the thing is that with the pendulum, I learned clearing energy is
Mhm.
your clean, if we all are part of the cosmos, right? And really the way time is so different, fluid time is so different than man-made time,
Yes,
that when we clear it, we're clearing it for us and everyone that is surrounding us, right? We
that's right.
we are, and we all can orchestrate our own life. So when you're caught up in knots in the stomach and you're worried, then you've got to clear that energy, because you don't
Yeah,
want to create more
yeah, you
chaos
do.
for yourself, because
Hmm.
you will.
Yeah,
You
yeah, you do.
absolutely will. So how to know the real truth from the manipulation or somebody's agenda? That's, you've got to stop and ask, is this true? Stay as an observer. Make it your goal to become an observer,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
ask,
exactly.
is this
Right.
true? Because I know people will say things to me and I'm thinking, nah, I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
And that's what I do. We've taught ourselves not to feel, for, I don't know, hundreds of years. We've told our human self, if it isn't in the brain, if I don't, if whatever what's thinking, I'm a thinking man. I'm not using, that I'm not using my brain. Well, now we know there are more brain thinking cells in the heart than there is in the brain. And the heart drives the brain. This is what we
Say that
found with
again,
heart math.
please. Say that
Huh?
again. Say that again. That is
There are
power.
more brain kind of cells in the heart than there are in the brain. And the thoughts and the feelings and the thoughts that are in the heart drive the brain to think the way that we think. So when you are hearing these things come in, when you are silent, trying to get into that silent thing, and just like you say, just stop for a minute, take a breath, and go, well, how's that feel? Not how I think about, what do I think about it? Because, when I think about it, I'm going to come up with all these different, things I'm thinking, saying, oh, well, that makes sense, or, does it make sense or not make sense? And they said this, and that's got to be true because they said so. It was on the news, on the TV or whatever. But now, think with your heart. That's heart math that Greg Braden talks about all the time, and several others, Joe Dispenza, etc. And heart math tells you, think with that heart. There's more going on there, and and that's what helps you. The heart is what helps you to discern what is the fake news, what is the true news, what is real, and what's real for you. you know I mean, something may be going on, has nothing to do with your life whatsoever. Your life may be just trying to survive today, and that's where your world's at. You got to take your meds, or you got to do your physical therapy. I was, as you know, it was only 6 months ago, I had both my arms were broken, I couldn't even feed myself. So at that point in time, I was just trying to make it through each day. Did give me a lot of time to be silent and pray and meditate, that's for sure. But I'm not out there, building bridges and all that kind of thing either. So each one of us has that different thing that we got to do, at that given point in time. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I really agree with that. And if we can master the solar plexus
Yeah.
and the heart, that is what will guide us for the rest of our life. Because
Yeah.
the intelligence, as we're saying, even though there's all this research with the brain in the head, but it thinks logically, and the
Correct.
heart is what will guide you through
Correct.
everything. And the
Everything.
solar plexus, because you'll be able to go to your gut. How does this feel? And that's what we all need to practice
Yeah.
in this time of great change. and not knowing who to listen to and shutting ourselves away and down is to listen to those parts.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Definitely. Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. I hope everybody out there has a really great weekend, great weather, and oh my goodness, it's already August. I can't believe it.
Oh, I know. Can you
And the
believe
kids are going back to school in like, 10 days. It's just, I mean, how is
it?
that possible? I remember when that everybody went to school after Labor Day. It just still to me seems fair.
Kids in the South are already in school.
Are they really? Oh my
They
gosh.
started yesterday.
Wow.
A lot of them did.
Wow.
Yes. First day was yesterday. And they
Wow.
get out of school earlier in May, but I
Oh,
remember my kids going to school after Labor Day
yeah, it's after Labor
in
Day when we
Ohio.
did. Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you very much. This has been
Thank you.
wonderful as always.
Yes, yes. And we wish everybody a lot of light and love and peace in your soul. And so peace on the earth.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
please read about the description. You'll see Catherine's information. You'll see her website and her email address if you want to reach out to her. And in the description, we'll have
Absolutely.
a quiz that I offer and also an email for me. The quiz just helps you with your aura energy to see what you can do and what you can't. I do have a new thing I'm giving away is a meditation I've done using crystal light of healing and for the chakras. So as soon as I can take the time to figure out now where do I put that online somewhere in the software for them to click on so they can download it. Now I'm doing this, and I've only been thinking about this for a while. So whatever.
Yeah, right.
We'll get that out there. But thank you very much, and just God bless everyone.
God bless us, everyone. Thank you.